hello. I'm really sorry. I've probably got quite a lot I need to say this week. I thought I'd come outside because it's nice. It's just starting to cool off a little bit. We've just been out for our lunch, which was a bit of a treat. We don't normally do that, but Davey's son's here, Darren, and his girlfriend Becky and the kids, and we tend to be a bit more exciting and interesting when they're here. So where shall I start? Start where we left off. No bloody water. So yeah, I did last Sunday, didn't I? And we had no water, and that was the situation that continued until it rained, basically. And I copped a lot of flack actually online because I mentioned in a couple of expat groups. I hate that word, by the way. I'm an immigrant. I'm not an expat. And people go, "Oh, the difference is I'm here legally." Yes, so are Polish builders in Britain, but you don't call them expats, do you? I'm an immigrant. And I got told, moaning, stop, typical moaner. I even thought, right, I might actually change the name of my channel to the Moaning Expat, or the Moaning Immigrant. Just suck it up. You're in Bulgaria. It's poor country. You've just got to put up with it. I think that's really bloody patronising, actually. Not to me, to the Bulgarians. I've moved to a different country, not a different century. There are 1,200 people in this village. They don't walk down to the Danube and smack their clothes against wet rocks. They have washing machines. And they couldn't use a washing machine or flush a toilet any more than I could. And they were raging too. So why should we put up with it? It's not good enough. So yeah, stuff you if you were one of the people who said that. So the water did come back on. We had a good, big, massive storm. It rained all night. And the next morning, miraculously, the water was back. And then it rained again the next day. And the water has not gone off again yet. And as everybody on the local Facebook page said, that's because we all complained about it. So you had to do something about it, more than just telling the press that it was our fault because we were using the water, because it was working down there in the centre of the village, but not anywhere up here. Anyway, so that was one thing. Once the water came back on, everybody's mood improved because nobody was walking around being grubby with a stinking toilet anymore, and filthy clothes. So everyone got a bit cheerier then. Chris got on with his rendering and stuff. He's burnt his skin so badly with the lime in the render. And he decided one day to render in Crocs. So he's basically got no skin left on the bottom of his feet now. So he brought it indoors for a couple of days and started doing the plasterboard instead with our gaffer, Davey, who directed him. So now he's got another skill. And the dogs have just gone under the fence again. That's the puppies. And that's the other thing I've got to tell you. So we did some rendering, plasterboarding. I've made some jam. I've made some chutney. I've been for a good explore of my new house next door. It's not mine yet, as I said, because of the paperwork. It's probably going to be the middle of this month that we complete on it. And when we do complete on it, I'll film as bits that I can and take you through the process of buying a house in Bulgaria if you haven't already got one. But the last thing that happened, because I've not really been filming the last couple of days because I've not been doing a great deal. I've just been being very, very lazy, which is fine. You're allowed to be lazy every now and again. Is the puppies this garden's supposed to be dog-proof. It's not dog-proof at all. And the puppies have found their way through any space that they possibly could. We've got sandbags, tiles, planks of wood, all sorts, blocking up all the holes that we've found. And that's them now barking in horror because somebody's got the audacity to be in their own garden. But I wasn't minding it too much because they were either going next door, which is practically ours, or they were going into the woodland, which is ours, or onto the slope, which is ours. So it was okay. However, yesterday, and I am very, very glad that Davey had just come up with his son and our friend Terry to pick up some building materials. I saw them go. They went into next door. That's fine. They're allowed in there. And then I heard the most awful noise I have ever heard. Like a puppy screaming is not something you want to hear. So I pelted down, couldn't see them anywhere. Chris ran into the next door's garden shouting them. And then Mandy came back. And she was like Lassie, this way, mother, this way. She's down here. ran down the road and had no idea they were going down the road. Ran down the road and she's got a paw, and what I thought she'd got a paw stuck in Baba Tomato's fence. Anyway, Darren and Terry came running with me. She was in a bloody trap, like a big rusty horseshoe-shaped trap with teeth, and it had just snapped on her leg. And those things are completely illegal. You are not allowed to have them. Anyway, Terry, God love him, she was screaming. She was sitting in a big pile of poo. She'd crapped herself in pain. He wrenched it open enough for her to get her paw out, and by some miracle, she still had all four legs and it hadn't even broken the skin, but it did upset her. It was awful and it upset us. So we know we've got to try and fix some of these holes because it's just no good letting them sneak out of it. But we've just been out and bought like collars and leads, and they're going to have to go on a stake. You know, they're going to have to be tied up in the yard. And we're not being cruel. We're keeping them alive. And on that note, I've probably got less to say than I thought because I'm going to go and see if the puppies are all right and call them back. So, yeah, we've just been to Petco and bought collars and leads and things. So, yeah, please be careful of your dogs. And if you haven't got any water, complain about it. That's all I have to say. So if I think of anything else, I'll put it in later. But that's it for now. Yeah, peace out. Right, so starting the week as we left last week with absolutely no water. And if I sound a bit echoey, it's because I'm in a corridor because Chris has got the telly on. We think the washing machine might be dead because we put it on the other morning during the hour that we had water, and then when we took the washing out, it was all still dry. So we think we might have burnt it out or something. We're not sure. Because I've just heard the exciting news that you can just pour water straight into a washing machine, which we've done. Poured 10 litres in, turned it on. Not doing anything though, it just keeps going grrr every now and again. Time for a new washing machine maybe. Oh, so we are clouding over nicely, which means that we probably might get that storm that we were promised. So there's a lovely breeze, actually cool. Bella's getting a bit nervous, which always indicates a storm. And the puppies are still really glad that Mummy appears to have put up a dog trampoline for them to wrestle on. Not, in actual fact, a sun lounger at all. Who knew? Ellie is thinking she might want to play a bit more if she can get the energy together. And I'm sure I can feel spots of rain. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I've got buckets all over the garden ready. And this is just various bits of Chris's building work this week. It's probably all in the wrong order, but it's him doing various bits and pieces outside and inside.
Nej, det är aldrig.
So we had the thunderstorm to end all thunderstorms, which I can't catch on camera with my shit phone last night. I came out just in time to stop Chris tipping all the water away off the sunbed and the hot tub cover. So this is our water harvest for this morning, which is about 5 flushes of the toilet, I would think. I'm shocked by how much water a modern toilet takes up. But we have got fully flowing water this morning, obviously, because it's rained and nobody's desperate. And Chris got up at 5 o'clock to put the washing in, which we've overloaded the drum, so everything's not particularly clean. But it's cleaner than it was. So things are looking up. He reckons he's going to do some plasterboarding today. Me, I'm not sure. Right, since I've got water, I'm jam making. So David gave me a load of windfall apples. The rest of them are in there. And I've cleaned the kitchen. It is clean. I know there's just a lot of stuff lying about because of the dust. I've cleaned my cupboards out as well. It's exciting. Joy of having water. And this is really, really easy if you want to try making jam. I always used to really admire people on MasterChef making jam, but it's dead easy. And apples have got loads of pectin in them, so you don't even need to add pectin. This one is 1 kilo of apples. Didn't even peel them. Just chopped any bad bits out. 1 kilo of sugar and a couple of pinches of cinnamon. And in the oven there, I've got my jars. So you don't boil up. Hot soapy water, scrub them out, rinse them out, and then you put them in an oven, not too hot because otherwise you'll shatter your glass. And that's how you sterilise them. And the lids, you just put in boiling hot water. You just boil them for a few minutes and then dry them on some kitchen towel. So I'm just letting this rest till the sugar's all mixed in. And then I'm just going to put it on a very high boil until it feels like it might set. I'm going to put a plate in the freezer to test my jam. And that's going to be my afternoon. Exciting times. Right, so I let the jam mix in a bit. And now I've put it on this is an electric hob, halogen one I think they're called. And it goes up to 9. So I've put it on about 7. Because I don't want it to... At Christmas I tried to do this without measuring anything, just off the top of my head to make applesauce. And I ended up making toffee. So I don't want it to go too fast, because I want the apples to soften, obviously. So I'm just going to keep giving it the odd stir, checking it's not boiling too much. Once it's all nice and soft, then I'll put it on a boil, I think. I'm not very good at, giving instructions, am I? It's because I don't follow recipes and things. Yeah, it's very rustic. I haven't peeled the apples, and I can either mash it or I can run it through a liquidizer if I want to. But it's going to be chunky, I think. I like the idea of it being chunky. And the cinnamon smells nice. Right, I think I'm done. It's just finishing bubbling away. I took it off the heat for a few minutes and just mashed it with a potato masher. And then put it back on for a couple of minutes. But really, it's done because the plate test, it's not going anywhere. So just need to let that cool down a little bit, and then it can go in the jars. And there we go. I made 2 batches in the end because I don't like overfilling the pot because it spits at me. But there we go, 5.5 jars of lovely, lovely apple jam. Nom nom. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is my husband, covered, absolutely bloody covered. His feet are ruined in burns from the render, clearing his equipment up. You know what time of it is? It's 7 minutes past 11 p.m. Hey, what do I do with him? Good morning, it is Thursday. Oh yes, I'm not talking to you, Miss Inside Out Ears. Ellie's having a decline this week. She won't play with a toy. I'm not sure if it's because she's overheated at some point or Mandy keeps chasing the toy as well. We can see, though, that it is an absolutely beautiful overcast day. Again, it's only going to get up to 27. I'm hoping that horrible hot snap in the 40s is finished now, and we'll just stay in the late 20s and 30s for a while. I've got nothing on my agenda today except my Bulgarian lesson and to find a crimper for jam jar lids, because I went to get some lids last night for the jars that Magda gave me, and they're the ones that you need the little device thingy to crimp them on, and that's all I'm doing. I don't know what Chris has got on. He's very burnt from the lime in the render, so I don't know if he'll do inside or outside work today, but we'll see. Quiet one, I think, on the horizon for us. Right, I've got a carrier bag under my arm and no peace because I can't do anything without the puppies. I don't mind Ellie coming with me, but these two are daft. Don't know where Bella's gone. And I'm going to go and see what I've got next door, but this pathway that Chris has made is crumbling. Oh! So let's see what we find. It's a much bigger space than I thought, actually. Oh! Right. So, there is like a drying shed there. Oh! Everything's dying down a bit now and there's a storm coming. And then there was a shelter there that Chris has knocked down. Be careful, dogs, there's big nails in that. And then I was looking for the grapevine. I can't see where it starts. I know it goes out from this walnut tree here, but I can't see where it starts. So maybe it is just a wild seeded one. Maybe it was never a proper grapevine. So these trees, if need be, can come down because half of them are dead anyway. And then so all that space used to be a wall there by the look of things. Whoops. Shonkier and wonkier than usual because I'm on very unsolid ground. Don't know what this one's dead. Don't know what this is. Don't recognise that. That one looks like a big cherry tree. I've got a couple of them. So if I make my way down this way, anyone tell me what these are called? These trumpet flowers. They're gorgeous. I have no idea what they are. So I think the only way I'm going to do this is if the dogs found a better route, but I'm not as small as them. If I go along the roof to get to the gates. Oh, please don't let me die. Please do not let me die. Mandy! Are you there, are you? And then that is a wild plum tree. Ellie, do not jump down there. Come on this way. Wild plum tree. Is that grape? That must be where it's coming from. It's next door's grapevines, I think. And it's grown all over this garden. Oh, over the fence. Ellie. Down the steps. I'm going looking at apple trees. Do not jump down there. And this way. Good girls. Good girls. Okay. Right. Puppies are off doing their own thing. Pockets, nearly my property. And just shove this open. There we go. I've not really looked at any of this yet because Chris gets bored. More cherries, mulberries. God, that goes back a long way as well. So there's a load of space there to the end of the house. Garden path here. Empty spaces there. I don't think I can quite get to those barns until we've cut some of this down. So they will remain a mystery. And they can come down. Non-fruity mulberries, they're just wild. So these can come down. Ouch. Thorn got me there. Yeah, all that space there. And I've come to look at the apple tree. That's my aim. See if there's any apples ready. All that space there as well. Let's have a look. Apple tree, how you doing? See, it's a massive apple tree, but it's snapped off there. So anyway, I can probably get some windfall, which is what I'm about to do. I've got my carrier bag at the ready, and the dogs are very curious about what's happening. And then there is a bit more space around the corner as well. Oh, I think I've just found another bit of garden down here. And there's another good space here. And there's two big apple trees, another one after it. But the dogs are getting a bit of a nuisance now, trying to escape into other people's gardens. So I'm going to take them back.